I'm on a journey into Australia's colonial past with travelling companion and Aboriginal comedian Kevin Cropinieri. Together, we've been exploring Australia's past, in other words, its colonisation by the British Empire. The next destination could have me on a sticky wicket, but it was bound to come up at some point.
Cricket, mate.
Yeah, cricket.
One thing that does unite a lot of people.
But also England-Australia.
What an amazing rivalry.
The rivalry.
The rivalry.
All other cricket is secondary.
Probably the #1 sporting spectacle between our countries.
Especially when Australia aren't cheating.
I'm not going to argue with that. It's something that they'd love to forget.
I mean, honestly.
I love cricket, but you know, like we're in 2023. It was only like 50 years ago that my people were the only black people in this country. So as a kid growing up, I loved the West Indies.
So you were a Windies guy?
I'm a Windies supporter. I mean, how could you not?
You any good at cricket yourself?
I reckon I can bowl a few up to you later.
No, yeah, OK. You any good with sandpaper? That's the main requirement, isn't it?
We'll see what we can do.
So, to summarise, the British discover Australia, even though someone else already has. Literally, we put it on a map, dispossess its inhabitants, replace the wildlife with sheep, give them cricket to play so we've got someone to beat, take their mineral resources, drag them into all our wars all over the world, and they still beat us at cricket. Honestly, there's no pleasing some people, is there?
During the 1930s, Australia had the greatest cricketer the world has ever seen, Donald Bradman. To beat him in the 1932-33 Ashes Tour of Australia, the English cricket team came up with a strategy to smash the Aussies. Bodyline was a bowling technique aimed at trying to hit the batsman's body, forcing him to use the bat for defence. The Australian side were injured, almost causing a diplomatic incident. Australia's wicket-keeping batsman, Bert Oldfield, was hit so hard he collapsed with a fractured skull. So I get it.
You certainly will after I take you to meet one of our professional cricketers and part of the first 11 Aboriginal team, Tyron Lydiard. Time for us Aussies to get our own back now.
That Bodyline series was nearly 100 years ago, and that it's so infamous between still Australia and England that it still invokes emotions.
Right, well, shall we play some cricket?
I think that sounds good. This is probably the most important.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
These are the real crown jewels you've got to protect.
Yeah.
You've got a smaller one.
There you go.
Well, that's an English version of a budgie smuggler. There, right there,
That's the one. Now we have pads. To be fair, we're not going to be bowling many balls there. They're going to be mainly at the head, aren't they?
I mean, you say that in jest.
Oh, can I get the first delivery at our place?
Oh, of course you can.
Yeah, be my guest.
This is your sword, my brother.
Thank you.
Have you been practicing? Oh, we're on.
And we're going to bring us together by you throwing a really hard ball at me.
Correct.
Let's see how we go. I have not played cricket since I don't know, was 13 years old. But I'm here in the spirit of international learning and cooperation. Shut up. To have the bejesus scared out of me.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Here we go.
You got to watch the ball.
Whoa, Christ! It's meant to be a game.
Jeepers.
Oh! Oh, catch! Oh! Feels very different from this side, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It's very threatening. Fuck me.
Oh, how's that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is brilliant.
He's enjoying this too much. 90 years ago, mate.
This is it, mate. This is payback for the Empire.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, got him!
And you know what? What a release. It's hard not to take personally.
Yeah. I won't lie, I think I had a lot more fun than I probably should have had.
The ball, when it comes at you that close.
For a sport, it's actually it can be scary.
Yeah.
And to think that, like, they were doing it without helmets on is insane.
Now, while a lot of people know about Don Bradman and the Bodyline series, there's a hidden chapter of cricket history that most of us have never heard of.
I wonder how many people in Australia and England would know that the first ever Australian team to ever tour England was an Aboriginal team.
In May 1868, the first Australian cricket team arrived in England for a series of matches. All 13 Aboriginal players who learnt the game on a farmstead in Victoria was smuggled out of Australia by their English captain and coach, Charles Lawrence. They won 14 matches, equalled in losses, and drew 19 games, and paved the way for future professional Aboriginal players like Tyrone.
So how does cricket fit into Aboriginal culture? Because it's a white man's game. And given all the history and the way that Aboriginal people have been treated by the colonial arrivals here, why on earth would you want to play cricket? Why would you want anything to do with it?
Aboriginal people have always been excelled in this country across the spectrum of sport. Jason Gillespie and Dan Christian. And who doesn't love cricket? I mean, that's one of the good things that you brought here, mate. So on behalf of the Aboriginal people, thank you for bringing cricket to our country.
When I get back to Blighty and people say, what did you learn in Australia? I am going to go on and on and on about the dispossession of the Aboriginal people here.
Well, OK, out of 10, that's a 0.3.
Every time I came to Australia before, the Aboriginals were like a footnote in my understanding of the place. And Kevin, he's put them centre stage.
All your mob come over here, take our land, and now win the lawnmower races. People have a stereotype of what an Aboriginal is. There's a big diversity within Aboriginal Australia itself. We belong to a culture, an old, ancient culture, and you don't know the true heartbeat of Australia until you connect with the First Nations people of Australia. And I think that's one thing he took away from it.
But it wouldn't occur to me to go whistling for snakes, if I'm honest with you.
That's because you've got shops you can go buy.
I've got shops, I can go buy fish and chips, I mean, I think in Australia you've got three things in action. There's the British Empire bringing people here, there's the people who were brought here, and then there's the people who were here in the first place going, well, hold on a minute. And then the first two elements are fighting like rats in a sack anyway. It's not good. But the British Empire isn't here anymore. The British Empire's gone. It's not up to the British Empire to solve this problem. That's the thing we're finding in every country we go to, is it's gone now and it's not on people's minds, but the status quo here is a product of it.